Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Han Show podcast.
Today we are going to be discussing the albums that we reviewed over the last, I guess the entire lifetime of us reviewing albums. Although there's gonna be like a monthly sort of series where we go over our last month of reviews on albums. But since we're just starting off with the podcast again, we'll go through all the ones we've done. We've done a handful
Mhm. Well, I guess to start it off, we'll go to the first one that we've done, which is AM. Um,
by Arctic Monkeys.
yep.
I'll let you two talk about it more because in the last podcast I yapped for like half an hour about Arctic Monkeys. So
Yeah, cause yeah, I think I like AM a lot. I sometimes I feel like I never listen to I mean that's usually how I listen to music. I usually go through like a certain couple of albums, like kind of forget about the albums. I don't really listen to any of the songs off them because I don't really make playlists at all. I usually just go through my like songs. So it's always like I don't listen to AM for a while, and then I listen to like a whole bunch of the songs a lot, and I just don't listen to AM for a while again. But every time I choose to listen to AM, it's always amazing. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. AM, out of all the Arctic Monkeys albums that I've listened to, and I kind of talked about this last time, but it's probably my favorite. I like the mix of like, there's the popular songs and stuff, but then there's also Number One Party Anthem, which is really good. And yeah,
yeah, for me it would probably be my fourth favorite.
mm,
Yeah, absolute. I mean, starting off, do I want to know? I mean, come on, that song's the
yeah,
classic, iconic riff.
it stood the test of time. Like, I know, I think Agdu talked about, or Ignacio talked about this a little bit, but just how it's been for years, like, or maybe for some people you might get sick of it, but at least for us, or I don't know about Oliver, but
Yeah, it's still good. I
yeah.
don't listen to it that much, but whenever I do, it's good.
Well, it's not like I've probably heard that song. I've heard that song so many times, but I haven't really gotten sick of it too much. I try not to listen to it too much, but it's definitely a really it stood the test of time, or not stood the test of time, but stood the test of like how many times I've listened to it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then then after I do, I want to know having "Are You Mine." This song is unbelievable. The energy of this song is insane. Like in the flow he has in his lyrics, it just it's just in solid groove all the way through, and it gets you excited for the album. It's
Yeah, like the first two like really like set the tone.
Yeah, like that guitar riff, like like it is
Like having
absolutely amazing.
having having Do I Want to Know and Are You Mine back to back is such like a crazy idea. Like it sounds more like a dream set list idea instead of like something that's just like on the album. It's kind of insane,
Yeah,
you know. Like and like Are You Mine I am kind of like a little I kind of did like overplay it a bit. Meanwhile, like again with Do I Want to Know, I've been hearing it on and off for the last like 11 years. That was like six, and it's like it just like and it's like it still just keeps hitting like just as
yeah,
hard as
like
the first time.
that. I didn't even know that was Arctic Monkeys when I heard it. Like obviously, it's very
Yeah.
recognizable.
Yeah, and then the next like are like there's songs. So after this, it goes for one for the road, which is really
I
good.
think it's not in a bad way, but the weirdest, not weirdest song. It's a good song, but I like the I thought it was dark outside. I like how he sings that riff, but I think it's still a good song, but nothing too special.
Yeah, I I like all the songs that aren't as popular. I mean, they still have lots of streams, but they're still really good. It's not like the album falls off, at least in my opinion, with with the
Yeah,
popular
yeah,
songs.
not at all. I mean, yeah, it's still I
Yeah.
still like it. I like the you sit and talk to me on the floor, like the way the way it just goes on yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like One for the Road a lot too. What's it called? But honestly, well, I mean, like it is related, but uh, I feel like the music video has some untapped like meme
Oh
potential.
yeah, them
It's
driving a
like,
tractor. It's so it's
well,
like
like look, no, look, it's like them driving a tractor in black and white, but also like when Alex Turner sings, "I thought it was
yeah, I
dark
don't really know the
outside."
music video. I have to check it out
No,
here. Actually, I'll
no, but
check it out.
no, but it's like it's
Hold
the
it up.
way he
Hold.
says it, and then the camera cuts back to like his super serious face going like, "I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's just them with
dark outside."
their
It's like lip
clothes
syncing.
in the middle of it's so
Yeah,
funny.
and it's like it feels like it's like a really untapped like meme farm in that one music video. I feel like.
Yeah. Another song like Arabella, I know Ignacio, you like that song a lot. If you want to talk about it.
Mm. Just like man, AM is like a very good starting place for like a lot of like newcomers to Arctic Monkeys, but some fans don't like it because it feels like well they feel like the lyrics kind of fall a little flat, which I mean in other albums he does kind of go like a bit deeper, but this one it's like it's not just face level. Like it's like it still feels very like I guess I can't think of the right word, but like it's not face value. It's not as face value as the hardcore Arctic Monkeys fans make AM to be. Like in this song proves that. Like the lyrics, like um man, my mind's blanking. Um, but the lyrics, when she needs a break from reality, she takes a dip in my daydreams, and then
That
also
lyrics, yeah.
like dipping, and then it's like it like dips into the riff with the dun which
Yeah, and
it's
then
like
the
samples War Pigs.
yeah, and the way like he like the choruses, it's like he goes like up and down with his vocals. My days and best when like that thing is so good.
Yeah, and then like in the second verse with the like uh with the like her kiss is the color of a constellation falling into place. Like as someone that's always been a huge fan of astronomy, um, uh, and also as someone who's never had a first kiss before, I feel like that lyric makes like it clicks. It makes so much sense. It makes like the
Yeah.
most sense out of anything. And then the bridge, where it's like ramping up higher and higher with the raps
Oh
music
yeah, and then it goes
in
that
Mexican,
insane
and then
solo.
it goes into the solo, like just the solo, like it sounds like just like a pure unfiltered eargasm. Is that allowed on YouTube or
Yeah.
Yeah,
is that
yeah, yeah,
okay?
probably.
Like like it's just that solo is like just the epitome of cool, which is what this album's going for, but also
Yeah.
it just it but it packs so much more with it too.
Yeah. And like and then like it definitely there's a lot of the songs like you were talking about, but it's not or there's still essence in the lyrics and like you were talking about. Um
Yeah,
and it where this really shine or like it's kind of like after these the first five then it goes into number one party anthem and I know you're not the biggest fan of it Ignacio but it's kind of like I think you said this before like the heart of the album like the center like slowing stuff
Yeah.
down.
exactly. Yeah,
Like the number one party anthem was definitely like my favorite song Arctic Monkeys song for a while. I think it's
Yeah,
so good.
I agree. It's definitely up there on this on I don't know
Yeah.
what my exact list was but and then Mad Sounds
Yeah, and then real quick, yeah, and then obviously we try to get you don't want to spend too much time on every album, but I know a lot of people dislike I Want It All, and like I see why they do, but I'm still a big fan of that one. I
yeah.
think
yeah.
it's
It sounds kind of like almost like a half pipe like skateboarder with a dun
yeah, and
dun
like
dun.
the kind of sounds like a drill, like not even drill sound, like whatever the dentists use, like on like teeth, like the guitar kind of has that, like in like the shoo
Yeah,
wop, like and the end of that, and it's like the
yeah,
little like thing sounds really good.
Yeah. And like and then I don't think we're going to be doing this for every album but we're kind of going track for track on this one just because we all really like this one. Um but I just wanted to
yeah.
talk about Mad Sounds a little bit. It's definitely under or not. It's probably overhated. I think it's lowest on my
I don't think
list.
it's overhated. I think it's underrated. I don't think people hate on this one that much.
That's
I
true.
mean, unless they do.
Well, it
I
depends on
maybe
yeah.
Ignacio you might know more if people in the
I think underrated is the right word. Some people do. It's like kind of say that it's like especially when it comes to AM, that it is kind of like a hated song, or at least disliked. You know,
Uh huh.
yeah. I'm a big fan of it. It's been growing up. I mean, whenever I listen to it, it's a nice. I kind of like his calming vocals on it. Yeah.
And then I just want to talk about Fireside for a little bit. I love Fireside. Ever since I heard it the first time, it didn't like stand out to me, but I after I kept re-listening to it, it just feels like I love Fireside, man. I don't know where I put it in my original ranking. It was probably like top 4 or 5. It's definitely up and up more because it's just so I love it. I love Fireside.
The lyrics are probably possibly
Yeah, that's
Like
probably my favorite
maybe
lyrics of.
like are you mine Arabella? Well, I mean these lyrics, but like the Fireside lyrics are extremely good. Yeah.
It's like I feel like if you look up underrated in a dictionary, this song will come up. Because I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
me, like I think I think like all three of us, and also I've seen multiple posts online like saying the same exact thing that it's like this song just feels underrated because I remember like the first time like after I heard AM a couple times, like I kind of knew each song like just by name. But then I saw Firestarter and I was like, wait, what song is that? And I did it again and I was like, oh, why did I forget this? And then, since then it was just that really underrated song. But it is, yeah. It's also very unique on the album
Yeah,
without sticking out too much, which is nice.
yeah. And then, why do you only call me when you're high? It's pretty good. It's kind of it's. I think in terms of streams, it's really it's. I think it's at 1 billion, and it's probably like top
Billion seven
three or
It is
hundred.
four
really high.
in the album in terms of streams. I like it a lot. I think it's definitely not my favorite, but I do enjoy it. I know if you want to talk about more, but
I think this one has like a kind of similar lifestyle for a lot of people. Like when you first listen to AM, this is one of like the hits. It's like it's part of it's one of the things that it's like it gets you addicted to the album. But then after you listen to it for like it's like I think I listened to this album for like a month, like pretty consistently. And like in the first bit in the first half of the month, like this song was like I was a big fan of it, but then a bit later on it was a little bit yeah, just like overplayed. Still a good song though.
yeah. And then Snap Out of It and Knee Socks are also really good. Um,
I'm not a big fan of knee socks. That's my hot take.
Your hot
okay,
take is wrong.
buddy. Okay, bud.
I don't think it's that interesting, but I'm not
Bro
Not
discrediting
that
wears
it.
ankle
I
socks.
don't
Get
find
out
it.
of here. Nah, that makes sense. Or not makes sense,
I
but
do.
I don't.
I
Why?
hate
Explain it. Explain
I
why you
hate
don't.
high socks. I'll be totally honest. High socks. No,
Explain why you don't like knee socks.
I don't. Well, I'm actually talking more like like in terms of wearing socks. I don't. I really don't like wearing socks that are high. I love like, but I also don't like wearing socks that are too low. It's fine balance.
I
You really
thought
get to
I
socks.
thought you
It's
were talking
fine.
about this song, and I was like,
But I'll talk about why. I mean, not that's a bad song. I don't know. It's just nothing really. It seems like it's always missing some either excitement or like I'm not big. His vocals aren't anything special to me.
But but there's two things that you're forgetting though. First of all, I feel like the song has like the most unique progression for among like all the songs in AM. Like because there's like a bunch of different segments that kind of like go through, yeah, that it goes through.
yeah.
Also, second thing you're forgetting, this song is the only song on AM that features .com.
Wait, I'm not gonna. I'm not glazing it out. Nah, no, but I don't know. It's
Might
not
be
the
the
biggest
best song
fan.
in the
Is
album
he, is he
now.
background? Is he background vocal?
I think is the background vocals. I think, yeah. Actually, wait.
I feel like now whenever if I was gonna say something good about him, I feel like now just because I'm saying it now because of Josh Homme. But I was gonna say I do like when he's like obviously if I'm being totally honest, I haven't listened to this song that much, but whenever I do, don't really like it. I feel like I've heard it enough. I mean, obviously songs
Okay,
can change easily, but
okay. Josh Homme, uh, Josh Homme did backing vocals on tracks 3 and 11, which are One for the Road and Knee Socks.
oh okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
those two.
I have a question for you guys before we get into the next song. What do you guys think is the most overrated Arctic Monkeys song?
Um. Oh, I think Ignacio, you want to go? I feel like
Yeah, I
I
have
know.
mine. I guess.
Here's a few. I mean, I think one that I don't feel really ashamed saying is overrated is From the Wrist to the Rubble, because like it's not like super popular, it's not super mainstream, but it's like it still is pretty popular, and it's like I don't know, I don't really get the appeal of it. I kind of think it's. I mean, I could have a more in-depth more in-depth discussion, but like the abridged version is like I think it's kind of an annoying song, and how much people clamor for it. I guess maybe it's because I'm not British, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the hype. I don't see the hype. I don't believe it.
See, that's kind of a hard question. I mean, if I had to say like, um, yeah, I don't. Obviously, I'm not as in tuned. Like, I don't like even for like some of my favorite artists, I don't really follow like I follow what like the fans think, like other fans of it think, but I'm not. I don't usually go on like know that much about like what people like consider the best. I mean, I could talk about some that I feel like underrated Arctic Monkey songs, but I don't know about overrated. What I think it's most overrated. But
Mm-hmm. Um.
if I had to go with something, it would be a Fake Tales from San Francisco. I don't know if people overrate that or not, but I'm not that big of a fan of it.
Okay. Interesting. So I think, okay, this is probably my most overrated. My pick for the most overrated Arctic Monkey song is "I Want to Be Yours." Now I'm not saying this is a bad song, but it. Okay,
I thought you were gonna do that. I thought you were gonna shush him. Like you're just like,
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's a bad song, but I don't know what to. I've listened to it. I've listened to this album a few times, and it just didn't really like stand out to me. It
I
felt
want to be your
slow, but it
vacuum
didn't
cleaner.
like look at it was mainly because of the I wasn't like too
We're not looking
relatable
at
to
you.
the
No.
lyrics. It wasn't relatable, but that's a me problem. But I don't I don't think I just think it's slightly
You're telling me you don't want to be a
I just
lecky
think it's a
meter?
little I think it's a little too slow. Or not slow, but I don't know how to explain it.
It finishes the
It's such a
album
good
though. You
closer
got
though.
It is
Yeah,
a good
it's such
closer,
a
and
good
I'm not
closer.
saying it's a bad song. I just think it's there's a lot of better songs on this album than I Want to Be Yours.
I mean, like, just when I hear this song, I just think of like, just like a really like arid desert, completely dry, empty, open. There's barely even a cactus in the distance, and there's just like someone carrying someone else that they love, like through blistering conditions, like and just like surviving off of that love, kind of like just like it's very pure. Even if even if the lyrics aren't Alex Turner's, it just like this song just feels like a pure, unfiltered emotion to me. It's a
That's
very
fair.
good closer and a very good song.
yeah. But overall, yeah, I think the sounds very good. They 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 got what they wanted with like trying to become like because obviously because I feel like people could be like, oh yeah, Arctic Monkeys are mainstream now and like that's bad now. One album and they knew they were gonna do that from one album and like their next album it was like 5 years later and it's like a concept album. So they had this one mainstream thing just because they wanted to do that and they did a great job of it. Still making really good songs no matter how many times they played. But yeah, I guess that's at least for me pretty much all I have to say about AM. Anybody else says anything, but
Yeah, it's my favorite. Right now, it's my favorite Arctic Monkeys album. I'm re-listening to them, and we'll be ranking them throughout the year. So I don't know if that'll change, but for right now, it's probably my favorite.
This album makes me want to buy a black leather jacket and put way too much hair gel on. So 10 out of 10. You know.
All right, so the next album that we listened to after AM was Utopia by Travis Scott. Now, this one was just Oliver and I. We
yeah,
listened to it. This was the one where we tried to do it right as it got released. So we listened to it the night of the night of its release, and then we rated it. And usually when we rank albums, we usually at least listen to it two times, if not more, to kind of figure out where we put
Yeah.
all the songs and stuff. But this time, me and Oliver, we listened to it once to get it out as fast as possible. And at first, I had a lot of songs up high. Like I had Fiend as number one. Okay, don't get me. I love like Fiend is like Fiend, Fiend, Fiend. But is it
Fiend,
10.5 out of
Fiend.
10 song? No, it isn't.
no,
It should be a lot
yeah, I
lower.
agree. I don't ever really listen to this album that much past like the first couple weeks of being out, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. I definitely gave too many songs legendary, but that was my first ranking.
Yeah,
So
a lot of
I probably
this.
won't spend too much time on this, but yeah, I
Yeah, a
don't know.
lot of the songs, including like My Eyes and I think
Yeah,
was it Thank God? Is that one of the songs? That song was really good. And the Hyena, I had it
yeah.
pretty high
I
up.
think yeah, my eyes I think are some is really good, and I
Yeah,
think
My
still
Eyes would definitely like a lot of those the songs that I had lower down are definitely gonna be higher would be higher up if we were to re rank it.
yeah. I mean, some of the songs I don't really remember, so but yeah. Um, yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I guess you could probably go quick through this because Ignacio hasn't
Unless
heard it.
Ignacio you have opinion on it.
Oh,
But
oh yeah, you have anything very special to say about the album you haven't
Um,
heard?
Fiend, Fiend, Fiend.
Oh, okay.
real.
Wait, that's very thoughtful. I might think about that next time. Yeah. Thanks for that insight.
Bro, back when I first listened to Fiend, I was geeking like like live, like listening to it for the first time, but it's definitely not a 10.5 out of 10 song or legendary song. It's still good, but there's a lot better on the album.
And you know what other stuff I geek to? Bananas.
Oh, that is
That's
a
a
good
great segue.
transition into the next album that we listened to, which is and
Marvin's
ranked
Marvelous Mechanical Museum.
by Tally
And
Hall.
let me tell you, this album is one of the most fun, best albums I've ever heard. This was like after this I really got into music because I was like, dang, music is really just this good. Um, and it was like, wow, this album. Obviously, won't go track by track for it anymore, but the different stuff that they do on this album, obviously with having 5 people in the band, all the different vocal performances, different types of. Obviously, it's all mainly like rock stuff, but or
Like
I don't know.
and different instrumentals too. It just
Yeah,
changes
the
so much, but
instrumentals.
it feels it doesn't like take away from the album when the instrumentals change. Like Greener is like so much different from what you call it, Hidden in the Sand, but they still work in the same album.
Yeah, and it's like just having it's so fun to listen to, and has sometimes funny songs that maybe have like more also have like some like better meaning behind it and like love songs and stuff. I know Nas said something about this in a YouTube comment, but it's
Yeah,
all just works perfectly and blends like amazingly.
Hmm.
yeah. It's like this song is like one third like silly shenanigans, one third love song, like or love stick songs, and then one third existential crisis. But like the entire album, like it's like an entire roller coaster, which works with based off of like a very wacky mechanical museum. They play into this in the song "Welcome to Tally Hall."
Yeah,
Like
that
it's
song is
like
just absolutely. Oh, sorry, but it's like that song's just
you can
like
finish.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I still listen to that one quite regularly, but like it's just like the way that they introduce themselves as like the marionette quintet, as if they're part of the museum or they're part of like the attraction. In the most recent re-release of the album, they even had like have fan art of them as the marionette
oh
quintet,
my,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
like
I
all
haven't
these
seen that
references,
before.
that's
That's
so
like
cool.
awesome.
that's like they're from their Tally Hall internet show. There's a 15 seconds of Bora reference.
Yeah,
All this stuff. There's like some references to like a few of their songs too. Like I think that's Banana Man. And there's a few more things that I can't find all.
yeah,
Look, like there's Hidden in the Sand down there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
there's a
really
ton.
cool. Yeah, and just like the song "Welcome to Tally Hall" just has so much personality, and like the way it just goes like the "I might rap like an English chap" is so amazing.
Hmm.
And seeing some live performances of them is awesome. It's just like awesome to see. It's like having them do it like
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, and then the first song I ever heard of this band was "Hidden in the Sand," and I didn't this off of I think just like a random song after listening to another song. This song showed up, and it was like I didn't know that Tally Hall like had this album. Like I thought this was like some old song, like just the way from the way it sounded, like that really weird and like cool. So I just liked it. Then later, I was with Ignacio, and like he was like, "Oh, it's that song. They have some other interesting songs." But yeah,
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because I
Oh, sorry, you can
discovered,
go first.
uh, I was gonna say that I discovered this song from Ruler of Everything. Uh, it's one of the most popular songs, and this is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. Just like, well, first of all, I found it through like a random like YouTube Shorts animation meme, and it's like it was during the "Do you like how I walk? Do you like how I talk?" And then the short ended right as it was getting into the drop with the dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun, and I was like, okay, I had to hear the rest, and it's like I couldn't escape it. But like just the fact that it's like the entire album like builds up like with this theme of time, and it's like concluding with the fact that time is the ruler of everything and how they break it down as like a character and a construct.
yeah. Like
Like
this is some
and
mind blowing stuff right here, bro.
like it's just like yeah, I
And
mean
there's like the opening like kind of like eerie and like just like questioning like thing with like Juno was mad. He knew to be hands, so he shot the son with a gun. Is just so amazing.
Yeah.
And like the instrumental with like the, I don't know what that instrument is, like the kind of like the triangle, like the dings. It just fits
Yeah,
so well.
and then obviously one of the best songs ever made, Mucka Blucka, the bonus track song.
Ross, okay, look, Ross cooked on those vocals.
Yeah.
I know, man.
I guess the way I got it, saw it, or the first song I heard from this album was the bidding, which I heard on TikTok. Okay, this is kind of corny, but I heard it on TikTok first, and I went to the YouTube because I was like, "Damn, this sounds cool," and I listened to the full song. It was good. I didn't really check out more of the album, but the more I heard like of the different songs, like Ruler of Everything, like you guys were talking about, and then Banana Man, which Ignacio showed to us, it just made me
Yeah.
more and more excited to listen to the album, and listening to it like throughout the whole thing. None of the other the other songs were also really good. And it's kind of crazy. This is not even Tally Hall, or this is not even this album. It's definitely including this album, but Tally Hall as a whole has such a large grip on like different like pop culture, not pop culture, but like internet, not like internet memes and audios and sounds. Like the bidding was very popular. Ruler of Everything was really popular. Hidden in the Sand I've seen on Five Nights at Freddy's edits, and a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, the
And
amount
then
of
yeah, and then their other work too, like I'm trying to think of
what
oh,
the
like in
Musical,
Hawaii
musical
Part 2, like
live cartoon.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much other stuff in there. I haven't listened to it that it's used in audios. I don't know what the one thing was. Wait, let me try to find it. But I guess yeah.
Was it Labyrinth? I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
it was Labyrinth, I think.
um, yeah. I'm surprised that Taken for a Ride on this album didn't also pop off like the other like more popular ones because like everyone who like everyone who I showed this album to for the first time loved Taken for a Ride on the first go. Like me, you
Oh,
two,
I had it at
my
number 1
brother, my
almost.
parents. Yeah. I mean it's I mean like I think I had like half of this not half because this album has like 17 songs, but like I had like almost half of this album at Legendary because it was
yeah,
that good.
this like this is one of the best albums, one of the most best albums made, especially from like just like in so like so much personality and just like the fact they all have their color ties and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just really cool.
Um
Um,
I guess one last thing I was gonna say about the album was that obviously I said that The Ruler of Everything is like one of my favorite songs of all time. But Spring in a Storm is also really high up there. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
song, like it sounds so unique, especially with like making the moon a character, but also like this song is also very special because when I listen to like this album and stuff, like that song kind of helped me like uh assess and like properly look back at a very confusing and frustrating day. So like that just like so that song really like helped break
yeah,
things down in my mind and it's like let me kind of ponder in a sort of safe
I
space.
kind of what like the stuff talk about, like kind of what the cars for me, like that entire album is just like that.
Same.
Times like at least
Very cathartic.
I'm not I like Spring Storm, but it's never really clicked for me. I think the lyrics are really good. It's just like the actual sound of it. It's never really like been a favorite, but yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
It's so
I'm
good.
surprised Spring in a Storm has isn't more popular because it's really good, and it has some of like the same values as, or all
Yeah.
the songs in this album are really good, but um
And and Bringing Us From is also in another song written by Joe Hawley. He wrote Ruler of Everything, The Bidding, Banana Man.
yeah, it feels a
Yeah,
lot like those, and
Thinking of this.
it feels like it could, maybe in like a different timeline it got a lot more popular, but it's still popular, but it's
that's insane
definitely,
cult following, man. Like the fans are.
bro, the Tally Hall lore goes crazy.
I know, but the fans got 2 albums, and I guess besides, I mean, some solo projects and like
What was the
miracles.
one music video
Mhm.
where they were in the forest?
Two of.
Bro,
Oh,
Two of is
Two Love.
amazing.
Yeah, I've been learning that song guitar, bro. It's so fun, bro. I love, bro. Ed, did you tell? I don't know if you want to talk about the lore
And
behind that,
then it's like
Ignacio.
the fact that Andrew, Mr. Green Tie,
I love Andrew.
uh,
He's so cute.
he wrote that song when he was 9. About about the Olsen twins, and then they made it into a song and had Zubin, Mr. Blue Sky sing it. It's really funny.
Yeah,
It's really really good. And plus, like I remember when that song came on in the car when I was with my parents, they both were like uh really confused, but it's like I think they're kind of enjoying it. I don't know, but
Yeah,
still,
I love the switch up with like the keys, like the I know that life without you and you, and I know
yeah.
it'd be bad, and then just goes into like the feedback sound or whatever that like the high pitched guitar sound, and then it just like
Hmm.
goes to the chorus. I think is so cool and like just
yeah.
mixes up the song amazingly.
I guess one more song I wanted to talk about. I don't know if we talked about it that much, but it was Banana Man. Now, a lot of
Yeah,
people don't. I don't know. A lot of people love Banana Man, but a lot of people don't like it. I'm not. I'm not too into like the what people or not too into, but like
It's if they get it or not, or if they just can't enjoy sometimes. Sometimes that's it doesn't have to always be like
that
to have
like people
fun, you know.
call it racist. It's not really. It's not racist, guys. Come on now.
yeah. It's like I mean, like I think people say that. Uh, I think it's not even like because of like oh banana monkey connection. It's not because of that. I think it's partly just like because he uses the voice, like kind of imitating like a more I don't know, like I guess like I don't know if tribal is the right word. I'm trying to think of the right word, but like kind of like maybe like Native African, maybe. I don't know what kind of
Yeah.
accent they're trying to like imitate, but people think that it's like him like faking an accent like makes it racist, but I don't think that's really the
Yeah, and
intention.
also I think there's
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
just
other songs that like do that. I feel like too, like that. I don't know. People are
yeah,
completely fine with, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then also just real quick the haiku thing, the fact that he's always messing it up, and then he does it with like the la da dee dum la da da dee do dido dum da
yeah,
la dee do is so amazing.
yeah. It's the fact that it's like haiku. It's like almost every single line is a messed up haiku because haiku is 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, but every line is 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 6 syllables until he gets the la da you did him, and then it's like he's like there, that's sufficient. You wrote a haiku.
Yeah.
It's
That was so good.
it's underrated.
Yeah.
Well, I
Should we go to the
guess
next album?
yeah. So next
Or
one is El Camino by the Black Keys. Now, we wanted to do El Camino right before Ohio Players, which was their new release, which we'll talk or their newest album, which we did a fast review
we'll
for,
talk about next
but we'll talk about
after.
next. But first, I guess we could talk about El Camino, which was really enjoyable. Listen.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to the Black Keys for, well, longer than I thought because when I think of the Black Keys, I would always think of El Camino, which I heard a lot, like on car trips, like 8 years ago. But then I found out that apparently, uh, they made Attack and Release, which it's like I didn't even know until months ago, which
Mm-hmm.
means I've been listening to it even longer than I thought. Which, uh, we'll do Attack and Release eventually. It's my favorite Black
Yeah,
Keys
yeah,
album, but
definitely.
is a, El Camino's a top three Black Keys album for me, and just like it's so consistent with how it sounds, but it doesn't get boring. It's
No,
very like
definitely not.
they had a goal and they definitely achieved it, even when they were feeling like a little burnt out. Like this was like their medicine, kind of.
Yeah, like this song, like all the songs. I love the songs. Are so there's such like the music video for was it Lonely Boy? That's exactly how I feel when listening to this album. Like
They're so groovy,
I was
man.
doing like kind of I was doing a workout and I was listening to it and I was like right
Mhm.
before I was about to do something I just started dancing. It was during Run Right Back, which is one of my favorites on this album. But
Oh, they're so just like, but then like the lyrics though are like really like good. Like I feel like I don't listen to that many of the other songs this album. Like I listen to Run Right Back, Sister, and Dead and Gone, and then Lonely Boy occasionally. Except I've heard that one a lot. I mean, if I'm being
Mhm.
totally honest, I don't listen to other ones that much. But yeah, but those
Yeah,
just
some
four
of the
songs
lyrics.
are absolutely good, like amazing.
Yeah, some of the lyrics are like really underrated. Like especially like in it's like in Run Right Back. It's like hey, um, well she's a special thing. She doesn't read too much. Oh, but there's no doubt that she's written about. It's like it's very simple, but it's like it's very like uh if you're like in moments like that, it's like you definitely feel it.
mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, yeah, I guess we could talk about. I want to talk about Little Black Submarines. So Little Black Submarines was my top on the album, and at first, or I don't know what. Albert, what was your thoughts on Little Black Submarine?
So hold up, let me. I mean, obviously, I could say my old thoughts. I mean, I don't haven't listened to it that much, but at first, I was really not a big fan of it. I'm not a big of like. Hold up, I'm just trying to pull up the song so I can tell you what parts I wasn't the biggest fan of. But I'm not. I'm not big fan of like the slow opening because like I'm fine with slow songs and like having like it switch up. But the thing is, I didn't like the chorus and like the melodies to it,
Little
so
Black.
like I wasn't. I don't know. It didn't seem like I. That's why I didn't like it. It was like just like the first slow part is not that good. And
Not
then,
that
but then once
good.
it gets up, it gets going, it gets going. But I wouldn't want to listen. I don't really like listening to it if I don't like the first
Little
half of
Black
it usually.
Submarines. I don't know.
So
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but I like the way you, like halfway through the song. I don't find the slow part that boring. I mean, the way it just like kicks straight into Little Black, like the main part. It's just it's really I love it.
yeah, I like yeah.
Yeah. I don't fully I don't fully connect to the song, or else it would be higher, but it's like I can tell that it is really good, so yeah, it definitely deserves like a higher rating.
Hmm. Well, I don't know if you guys want to talk about any other songs on this album. If not,
Yeah, I don't have as much. Yeah.
we could go to
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, is it okay? Uh, is it okay if I flex a bit more of my CD collection
yeah,
so that
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 for
Yeah.
sure.
No problem. No problem.
Well,
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
the
This
on
is my
show. Oh wait,
CD
no,
collection right
never
here.
mind.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
he's
the
got it.
Lux Edition 20 wait, 10-year anniversary. Oh, look at that thick book.
CD spread right
Oh,
now.
unboxing chat. Are we becoming an unboxing channel?
See,
Chat, did
I'll
I
be in the
really just say
corner. I'll be in the
chat?
corner with the red screen.
I made such a mess. There's like little CD like booklets everywhere.
If we're done talking about El Camino for now, we could go to the next album that we listened to that we ranked, which is their newest album, Ohio Players. And what we did for this one was we listened to it on the first few days of it coming out. We listened to it 2 times instead of the one time, like we did with Utopia, just to finalize our rankings a little bit more and get them a little bit more polished. Um, but yeah, we did that one, and I really enjoyed Ohio Players. I think it was really um, I'm not sure exactly what the fan base thinks of it. I know they don't like it at that much, but I thought a lot of the songs were really, really good and really enjoyable.
Um, Me personally, I thought it was good, except I don't really go back to it that much, and maybe I should just go back to it. I just haven't felt. Maybe this is a problem on my part. Um, but I feel like I haven't really felt like I love This Is Nowhere and I listen to that song a lot. I remember Don't Let Me Go being really good,
I love
and then
Don't Let Me
also Read
Go.
'Em and Weep has a really good devious sound to it.
Yeah, this is
But
nowhere.
besides
Don't Let
that,
Me Go and Read 'Em
I
and
didn't
Weep are
really
number one
go
or top
back.
three for me.
Haven't really been going back to any of it, so I still don't have that much of opinion. I know I probably should go back to it more, but just
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, haven't gone to
Yeah,
it.
oh, yeah.
So I know if Ignacio, like if you wanna take the cart, take the stage with this one.
Yeah, so Ohio Players, so month that came out, I listened to that album a lot. Uh, what's it called? I'd say it's probably a top five Black Keys album. Uh, I say top five because it's kind of like there's one other Black Keys album that it's like kind of depends on like what mood I'm in, but they're kind of tied.
Yeah,
Um, but uh, but between those two, I'd probably like choose this one usually like over it if I had to choose, just because uh, it's like
between which
this
two
album has a
albums?
very varied sound. So basically, uh, kind of tied at like fourth/fifth places, the Black Keys, Rubber Factory, and Ohio Players. It's like both. It just depends what mood I'm in, but I probably have to put Ohio Players a little bit higher just because it's like if I had to choose between the two, just because like it has a very varied sound while still being very consistent, which I think the Black Keys are really good at consistency
Yeah,
in albums. But yeah, this is nowhere. I felt like an immediate connection as soon as the single dropped. Um, Don't Let Me Go. I've tried it a few more times, but I'm still not really like there yet. Paper Crown. I feel like songs that like aren't rap songs, like whether it's pop or rock or whatever, and it has a rap feature. I feel like this is what they should like strive to be. Like, don't just like slap a little segment in there where it's like they say, "Hey, it's me, rapper name," and it's this person, which is like the song they're featured on. It's like they should have
Yeah.
like a bit more to them, and like this
Be
does
part of the
that. Like,
song instead of just like being like, oh yeah, I am here as a guest, so I'm gonna let you know that I'm the guest
yeah,
on the song.
it's like Juicy J takes the stage in the second half, and he kind of puts it on its head, but in a way that it's like you can still tell that it's like, look, it's basically like with that song, it's like you can tell that it's like this is the El Camino like album.
Mm-hmm.
Upside Down, it's still the same thing, but it's like this is what J does to it's like it's like when he comes in, it just it's on its head,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that like he does it all by himself, but um, but then they still incorporate Dan's vocals from the chorus, but they like auto tune it in a way that fits in, and they even like slip in like Juicy J's. It's like it's very intricate. It's like songs that try to do this should be more like this, I feel like. It's very, very well made. Um, the what's it called? Uh, Every Time You Leave, fantastic closer. It's kind of like it's like up there with like Mind Eraser from El Camino. Uh, it's just like a very banging banger,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Also with that bridge, it hits. And then Fever Tree, I don't want to talk about because my first ranking, which is kind of why I don't like these like really fast rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, even though they are important to do. Like I like spending a lot more time with albums, but Fever Tree was in my bottom three, and then it's like I saw Nate's ranking in the video, and I was like, huh, he has it like really high. I wonder if I should retry it. I retry it. It's like a top three song now. What was I thinking?
Mhm.
Was I thinking? I probably wasn't thinking. It's just it's so catchy. It gets in my head sometimes with the all I want from you is everything. It's like it's so
Yeah.
it's like yeah. It's just those last three songs are really really good. Especially with Read 'em and Weep, which kind of reminds me of Arctic Monkeys, kind of humbug-ish, but still being the Black Keys' own.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
can see
interesting.
that. Well, I guess the next one is Graduation by Kanye West. Yeah, I really like this album a lot. I think up until right now it's the album that I gave the most legendaries. But this song is just like, or this album, there's so many bangers on
Yeah,
here.
honestly, this is probably the most accessible, one of the most accessible hip hop albums for people who don't really
Hmm.
listen to hip hop, in my opinion. Like,
And I guess,
Which is very good
yeah.
because because this was my first hip hop album. Well, I guess it's the Mome Boys Mistakes Were Made hip hop because that was kind of my first.
yes.
But ignoring Mistakes Were Made, Graduation was my first like legitimate hip hop album, and it's like yeah, it is very accessible with all the like kind of like pop uh
Yeah.
influence and also what's the word? Samples.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I also heard a few of the songs on here already, which helped.
And I think, yeah, there's just so many like when you're listening, like, it's so like there's a okay, so there's 14 tracks in the album. I think a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people love Graduation like a lot, but some people think that some of the songs that are not like the top ones, like they dragged the album down a little bit, like Drunken Hot Girls, Barry Bonds, and some of the other ones. But I don't think when listening to it, I didn't think those drag the album down that bad. And I think we could talk about Drunken Hot Girls a little bit. I understand why people don't like
Hmm.
the the meaning behind it, or like I don't know how to explain that, but it's kind of like a turning point in the album. But
Yeah,
it's a really like great song to listen, or not listen to, or like the instrumental too. I don't know. I really enjoyed that song.
because for me, like in the middle of the album, it kind of like in the middle of the album, it's like a little bit of like a lull, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a little dip. Because Can't Tell Me Nothing, I didn't know until after we like published the video that that song was that loved. I mean, like I know that like a
People
lot of
think it's
Kanye
like one of
songs
the
are loved.
one of the best Kanye songs, and like they
I don't think. I mean, I don't
What
really
absolutely.
song?
see it. Can't tell me nothing.
Oh, I like Can't Tell Me Nothing.
I
Wait,
mean,
what do I
like
have? Can't Tell Me Nothing. I have it at number nine
I
in
mean, like
Amazing. I think that's where I would keep it.
I mean, like if this song was like deemed as underrated, then okay, sure, I can see how some people might love it. But it's like if it's that like acclaimed, I don't know. And then Barry Bonds, I think, is my favorite song on the album. It just sounds kind of like
Yeah, I don't think
um,
people like that. People
I
are not a
like
big
I,
fan of that,
I
which
enjoyed
I
Barry
don't get
Bonds.
it.
I don't know
it's
what
just
did I give it.
Barry
I gave it a
Bonds.
great.
I think
I
Barry
enjoyed it, but
Bonds, like the beat kind of sounds like. I mean, like I don't really listen to them that much. Maybe I can't talk, but it kind of reminds me of like Run the Jewels, but without Run the Jewels. It's kind of weird.
uh-huh.
But um, but the two things that these songs have going for them, even though I don't like them that much, uh, is that they kind of carry or progress the sort of story of the album,
Mm-hmm.
and then this goes in, and then this goes into Drunken Hot Girls, which I didn't know was hated, which I thought it had a good beat, and also, even though it's like the lyrics, like they don't tell like a good, like uh, as in like uplifting or like positive story. It
Uh-huh.
does progress the story in a way that is meaningful, which I think is important. So
Yeah.
I still think it's good.
It's definitely a change because a lot of the songs like Stronger and I Want they're kind of like more like I think of the thing with this album is that's kind of like positive, not like the lyrics are some like bad or not bad lyrics, but there's I think there's like a positive message or not positive message, but it's not like a um
Graduation.
yeah, like I'm just trying to look through this like everything I am is good. Champion, I love Champion a lot. Um and like I Wonder, just like great song, like amazing songs. But or I know you guys have different opinion, or I know Ignacio has different opinions, and people. I guess we could.
I mean,
All right, you can go.
yeah, I know. So people watched our ranking of this video and decided that after my opinions that I should stop having those. Um,
Take away.
I mean,
Humorous, never rate again. Humorous,
Ban him from the honcho.
ban him.
Take away his
Get him
ears.
out.
Get him out. You're done,
I
buddy.
mean,
You're
like,
done. You're done.
You're
I mean,
done.
like,
Come on.
as my first like legitimate hip hop album, I do really like this one. And it's like even after listening to it just for the ranking, I've also gone. It's like I've gone back to it multiple times, like overall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like and it's like I just do really like it. Like I really want to talk about Good Morning because I remember like I first heard Graduation when it's like Oliver got the CD for his birthday and it's like I heard him play it over the like
I was at the bottom of my CD thing.
over his like
Do
low
not tip
quality
it,
like
man.
Fortnite over his like low quality Fortnite headset like a year ago. And then I heard Good Morning and I was like, wow, it sounds really good. And it's like take that Good Morning ooh was stuck in my head
Ooh.
for a year, even after hearing it over the like even after hearing it over that low quality like Fortnite party chat, like Mike,
Yeah.
and then hearing it again, like it's like it's honestly like I feel like it's one of the best opening tracks to, like an
Yeah,
album.
it's
I agree.
Even
amazing.
from
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when I listen to hip hop.
Oh,
Also, I love like it's like Back to the Future is like my favorite like film or like film trilogy. Um, and like just like the line, look at all the valedictorians scared of what the future holds as I hop in the DeLorean. It's such a good line, and I love it so much, especially with
Mm-hmm.
like what it holds like in the ties to Back to the Future, but also like in the ties to real life because it's like it's uh it's kind of similar to Ruler of Everything, where it's like that fear of time, the ruler of everything, which kind of ties into graduation too. So it's kind of cool,
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
Um.
Also, last thing, or like one more song I wanted to mention was Good Night. I feel like it's pretty underrated. I don't know
yes,
if it is or
I
not.
like
It's,
that
it's
song a
just
lot because I don't. It's so
Yeah.
calming.
It's
It's a good
yeah.
ending. I don't want to say
It's
it's like
not like
I
I
think
haven't. Or you can go first.
I kind of hopped into it with high hopes because Good Morning is so good. So like I first listened, I was a little disappointed, but then re-listening to it, there's some really good like vibes and like lines. Like I really like the line. I don't want to say goodbye to you, so I'll just say good night to you. Like
Yeah.
that's like a really good, really good one.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
definitely.
Nate, you continue.
I have it as the last of my album. When I first listened to it, I didn't like Goodnight a lot, but re-listening to it, it's a lot better. Like what you brought up too with some of the lyrics, it's a good closing track. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed Goodnight. I probably would raise it up a little bit, but there's just so many other like amazing songs on this album that I probably wouldn't put it up that much higher. But it was still a really good song and underrated.
Speaking of changing ratings, if I do, since people said that my rating was wrong, I do kind of agree there are a few things I would change. Good Life, I shouldn't have put it in okay. I should have put it in good. It's still like the lowest on good, but still good.
Hmm.
Uh, Everything I Am is really good. I feel like that could be
I
an
love
amazing.
everything I am, man.
Um,
The beat too, like it's like
yeah, yeah, and it's like that one line that got stuck in my head that I can't repeat for specific reasons. Um, uh, the what else? I feel like there's something else that's gonna change in the rating. I can't remember what. I think I moved Homecoming and the other one I had in Great up a little bit. Homecoming and Homecoming and Big Brother. I think Big Brother's underrated too,
yeah,
but I
Big
think
Brother is
both of those
really
are amazing.
underrated.
For me, it's a little repetitive. That's why I don't. It's still good
Yeah,
for me.
that's
It's a
why
little
mine's
repetitive.
I have it lower, but it's like a really like it's yeah.
It sounds so emotional. It's like
Yeah.
it feels like a graduation speech. Kind of like
Mhm.
it's it's really reflecting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, so the next
Yes.
album is Mistakes Were Made by the Mome Boys. Now, I was the first one I listened to this album a while ago from because I watched Crispy Concords a lot, and I when I first I loved it. I listened to it like four more times. I've listened to this album so many times. It's so fun. Like it's short where it's not like long and it's like gets boring, but like the beat it's funny and like some of the beats are really like really fire and it's really enjoyable to listen to. And
I know, bro. The lyrics though are the best part about it. Yeah.
well,
Are
no,
we?
but it's like
Were
every song is
mistakes?
like that.
Mistakes
every
were made.
song has
Every
crazy
song.
lyrics, but they work. It's not like it's yeah, and I definitely would raise some
Obviously,
of
it's
the
all
songs up.
jokes.
Yeah, I would definitely raise some of the songs up. I was a little bit too harsh because I kind of rated it like an actual like album that was being trying to be taken serious. But I mean, I still gave a few of the songs great. But I definitely would raise
Your
them up
ra-
in terms of like
your
how
ranking
funny they
was
were.
your ranking was too corporate,
I know,
Nathaniel.
man. I know. I regret it to this day. I would definitely raise some of the songs higher. But
Yeah, because it's kind of hard. Cause obviously, it's an album by they're all YouTubers, right? I mean, I
yeah,
know like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Still Beat is really fire, I feel like.
I love
Um,
Still Beat. Yeah,
Yeah, my favorites are Thighs Like Me Too, because that's just such a real song, and then Giveaway. It's also too really good.
also also SMD is a really good opening track. I feel like
I
everyone
know
really
it's
good in the
so
verse.
good, bro. I don't.
And
Yeah,
then Talk About Bathroom Interlude.
I love talking about
Like
Bathroom Interlude. Crispy
Me
Concords,
and the
I love
homies,
you, and
we
the other people too. But
in a taco bathroom interlude.
it's so good. Shoot, I smashed my
and
monitor
then
on my desk too
also
much.
oh
You can
and
go.
then Stingray is I think Stingray is the funniest track. Like
Yeah,
I feel like I should have
What
put
is?
it higher.
me
Stingray
too.
Oh
was like
yeah,
just like
that frick
with
all
the
the
like
stingrays in the ocean.
RIP Steve,
Hop
pray
in
for
the
the
ocean with the
Stingrays
sunset.
RIP Steve, no 16. And then
And
also when like Soup and then it's like when Soup breaks it down like he's like a college professor like um like uh like explaining how to like assassinate every stingray in the ocean,
yeah,
which is really
and
funny.
then the end part is so like out like wild, but it's so funny. I'm not gonna repeat the lyrics, but it's really crazy.
Yeah.
I really hope Moan Boys they're kind of like split up a little bit. They're still friends according to Crispy Concords,
I'm so
and
confused,
he's
but I don't know anything about the beef. And I also didn't hear what you
there
just
wasn't
said.
really beef. They just
Well,
What with
they're
was
chaos?
well, no, I think from what I heard, the beef was that it's like Crispy had different ideas for the group. Uh, that like he had views and ideas for the group, visions that were different from Hyper's, I think.
mhm.
So that kind of caused a rift. So it's like they're still friends, but they're not gonna make music together as the Mome Boys anymore. But Crispy has said recently that there's like a bunch of unreleased songs
I know,
that it's
Crispy.
like
If you're watching this, please drop the unreleased Mome Boys music.
Mumboys fans be thirsty, bro. For real. We got one album. That's it, bro.
Yeah,
we need more.
Imagine them going on concert. That'd be crazy.
yeah. So the next album that we reviewed was Favorite Worst Neighbor by Arctic Monkeys, which goes into our favorite albums that we or our favorite albums. We kind of talked about this in our last podcast, but we can discuss more in depth for these ones. But for the first one is Favorite Worst Neighbor by Arctic Monkeys, which is Ignacio's favorite one, if you want to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, like, I forgot what I said in the last one. Like, I forgot what I said exactly in the last podcast. But one thing that I want to talk about uh Teddy Picker, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Teddy Picker is my favorite song of all time, and I think part of that is because like I mean like it really is like a perfect song. Its placement on the album, its length, its like snappiness, like vocals, lyrics, backing vocals. The backing vocals are like it's like
Mm-hmm.
they added like a sort of like sixth sense to the song. Uh,
That
that
solo.
guitar solo,
Yeah,
best.
bro.
Yeah, it's like my favorite guitar solo of all time. Like it's like I have all the lyrics and like even like the guitar solo like memorized. Like I can like do the solo like with my mouth whenever I want. Do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do. I don't know how well these headphones pick it up, but also like I think I talked before about how like this album became my favorite because like it was a time when I kind of shut myself off from like a lot of people, and it's like it was winter, so I was stuck in the house. It was cold. I didn't want to like get off the couch. But this song always makes me move. Like this song, like putting it on loop, it's like I was like running laps around the house because my house is shaped like a donut. I don't know why, but like it's kind of shaped like a. So it's like I just like sometimes I'll put songs in like I'll just walk in circles. This has me like jogging, dancing, doing whatever, like moonwalking, like everything, like in like laps.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it gets me moving in the coldest of times.
Yeah.
It's really really good.
And I wasn't the biggest, like, I heard 505 a lot. I didn't really fully hear it. But at first I thought, when I was, like, going through my rank, or, like, ranking it, I thought I wouldn't have 505 that high up. Um, but I listened to it, and it definitely, like, I understand why it got so popular. Yeah, it's really good. And I have it up really high.
If I had to pick like one word for this album, it just like has like such a nostalgic feeling with like the lyrics especially, and I mean, there's some. I think the pacing on this album is so good, and the balance between fast-paced songs with so good lyrics and just emotional songs with amazing lyrics, like Fluorescent Adolescent. Such a good tale about like cautionary tale about just like things you see better in the past, and you have to enjoy the times. And it's like it's absolutely amazing. And then only ones who know. There's no others. I mean, there may be some other songs like no one knows, but there's only ones who know is one of the most beautiful songs ever made. And the fact that Fluorescent goes and then only ones who know, I think is just such a perfect like fit. Just like with the emotional thing, but like still upbeat thing of like Fluorescent Adolescence, and then only ones who know with like it's absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Brainstorm. It's such a great opener. Right, it's the opening song. I'm not tweaking, right?
Yeah, this.
Okay. But I love Brainstorm, just the way it just like goes right at you, and it's a great opener for this album. Yeah, it's very consistent. Like real like all the songs are really great. Like they all work together too. Kind of this. It was kind of similar with AM. This one's probably number two, or probably number two or three for me in terms of Arctic Monkeys albums. But this one.
This one's number one, except extremely close with Humbug. Like they're neck and neck.
We move on to the next album.
Yeah,
Yep.
so the next album is the one that Oliver chose for. We chose our favorite albums. This is not his favorite album
So
right now,
yeah,
but
because I can't pick like just especially with music, I can't pick my favorite for like anything really. Like for my favorite song, I don't only have one except for Brain Damage being up there, and also for the whole Dark Side of the Moon being up there for close to being my favorite album. But so it's like I didn't really know what to do for like saying something's my favorite album, so I just went with the album that got me into music. That's why it's like I might have rated Favor's Nightmare higher than An Evening with Silk Sonic. But like still, I still love An Evening with Silk Sonic. But
And
it's
fun
just
fact,
what? Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say fun fact, when we planned out the favorite albums video like in summer of last year, uh, you chose your favorite album back then as Igor by Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
How does it hold up, do you think now? After hearing so much more music.
I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of. I haven't really listened to Tyler Creator in a bit. I think it holds up amazing. The production on that, it's a great mix of really good jazz stuff. Well, not jazz, but like stuff like lo. I guess also like a lo-fi feel with hip hop and singing. But yeah,
Yeah, I
We'll
think.
probably do that on the
Yeah, we
album
should do
eventually.
that. That one's really like.
yeah.
I love. Igor. It was really cool.
Yeah, like stuff like Skate, which is like my first ever favorite song, which because of Fortnite they got added to Fortnite because Fortnite
They're
is
coming back
Fortnite.
soon. I gotta buy them when they get in the shop.
Yeah, but I was listening to Skate. Like that's how I knew I liked music was through Skate. I was like what is this thing I listen to and I need to listen to it over and over again because I like it so much. Then I kind of got like sick of it because obviously I listened to it over and over again. But that's my first ever favorite song. I also like Leave the Door Open. I was listening to a lot and like Smoking Out the Window. Um, but Skate is just so groovy and just
Yeah.
I'm just like it's so feels so bright whenever I listen to it.
Yeah. Skate like leave like it's like a mix. This album is like a mix of like the higher like faster like more groovy ones and then like slower more like love songs. But they all work. They work so well within this when this album like intertwined. Like it's just really good. And I think I was probably the last one to listen to it out of us three, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Um, and I think I actually gave it. Oh, we gave it the same ranking, right?
Yeah.
That's how much I. Yeah, that's how much I enjoyed it. It was really.
'Cause, I mean, yeah, everything with this album, like, I think I wasn't a big fan of Love Train, but for a little bit, but Bruno Mars, his singing, he's going all out, like, and if I like that
Bro,
stuff's
Bruno
crazy.
Mars is amazing, bro. Like,
He's so handsome.
I'm not trying to glaze, but he's like insane. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And yeah, and it's like he rightfully gets uh his flowers, his praise. Like I mean, for me, I know that you guys love Put on a Smile. For me, at first it was my least favorite, but then I liked it more and more. But part of that is because I feel like Bruno kind of like lifted it to a new level at the end when it's like his voice like ascends like almost beyond the song
Mhm.
during the outro.
Yeah.
Um, but also Anderson Paak kind of like made some of the highlights for this album for me, especially on Fly As Me. It's like his kind of like rapping sort of segments are like just so
Yeah,
smooth, but
Yeah,
also like
definitely.
his voice is also like it sounds smooth, but also like a little like almost like raspy, like crackly almost. It's like it's really like yeah, it's just like it's a perfect mix
and then also him on the
with
drums too. Yeah,
that's true.
Like
Yeah.
they work so well together in songs.
and it's like I love like 777 is just like a really extremely good
Yeah.
cause I mean it's pretty much just a hip hop song like with like just like it's so I think that's what is like amazing. It's like how they have such like something that I feel like it's like I really love it because obviously sometimes most of hip hop stuff is like programmed, it's not like live bands playing it. But like I love it when stuff like that and so groovy and like
Bro,
you just
yeah,
feel it.
when I first heard this, it was like, damn. Like it was so groovy and I mean, I still have songs higher than it, but it just even though it's different from the other songs, it's still kind of similar, but it works so well too. It just works so well. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
777.
I think 777 used to be like my second or third favorite. It kind of went down a little bit, but then again, the other songs went up too.
Mhm.
But yeah, but it's very unique among the entire album. But Smoking Out the Window, like that song was the first time that I like fell in love with this album.
Uh-huh.
Like it's like the way it transitioned from Smoking Out the Window out of After Last Night, which also grew on me quite a lot. But it's like just the way that it's like well, first of all, I love how every single word that's said or sang or like muttered on this album, like just like every song, like every single word that's sang, said, muttered, moaned is like it's said in italics. It's like it's like fancy, it's like slanted,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah,
and it's like when Bootsy Collins is like, wait a minute, this will start off so sweet and so simple, but now you got me, and then they both come in with the, and it's like
oh,
again, like it's almost like
Like it's like
10
the instruments start
beyond
like
your,
going up like
bro.
yeah, and then it's like, and
bro,
then
you
it's like that way
feel
that
this
it's like,
album. Like you envision it as dancing around your brain, bro. It's so groovy, man.
it's very cinematic, yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's, and plus like apparently it's like they planned that too because they said that this was like when the lockdowns were first starting and they were like, you know what, I think we should make this together. And then it's like they did that because they never were sure if they were going to be able to like perform live again. So they thought, well, let's make an album that sounds like it is alive. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
and like, yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's so I love this album, and it's just like some of the songs like make you levitate, and the other ones are like groovy. It's or like dancing. It's really good. I love it. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to add to this, but the next one, which was my favorite album that I've listened to so far, is Currents by Tame Impala. Now, I listened to this song about a year ago in the car. It was like early in the morning, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it, but I didn't listen to it for a long time afterwards. I listened to some of the songs, but I kind of wanted to wait a little bit. To, and then I listened to it again, and it held up for me. It was insanely. I loved it, and I love all the songs. They just work so well together. Some of the songs are like you're like or like this kind of glazing, but you're just like levitating. And then like some of the other songs, it's like groovy and it's like dance or not dance, but like you feel or it's oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, as someone that like isn't as into the album, but has like seen a lot of like different like interpretations and like reactions, I think like it's almost like this album is like a whole emotion. It's almost like a whole new emotion kind of for people.
Yeah,
It kind of like opens their mind up.
definitely.
Like for me, I kind of went into this album like. I I tried listening to a few of Tame Impala's like songs before, and for me, the thing that like kind of kills it is his vocals. I'm not a huge fan of, but it's like the fact that he does all this by himself, and it's like it's crazy, and like all this like crazy production and like work, like it's very commendable. I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that I knew that people were gonna hate my ranking, but it's funny because this is the better ranking, right, Nate? Like it's like it's like I first listened to the album
Oh
three
yeah.
times and my ranking, and it's like my ranking was like mostly okays, but then I was like, okay, I'll give it one more shot before we post the video.
Uh huh.
And it's like it hit different that time. It's like more lyrics hit in the right spots, like the vocals grinded my gears a bit less. It just was like a more enjoyable time. So it went from like eight okays to just five okays or something. And also, yeah, it's like a few songs went up too. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So, um, so the people complaining that it's like my ranking was bad, it could have been worse. Um,
Definitely.
and I'm sorry for nothing, if my opinion, and it's correct. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oliver, do you have something to say?
I just wanted like I guess I kind of just like my so I have the best or I'll talk about I'm gonna talk about a new person same old mistakes for a little bit, which is the final song in the album. It's a great ending track. I love it. We were kind of discussing this a little bit in the comments of that video, but it just feels it's 6 minutes long, but it feels a lot shorter. And we'll talk about Let It Happen some more. But the way it just I I can't like put it into words why I love it so much. It's just the way it starts off like it's yeah, it's great. I can't really put it into describe it.
Basically, with new person, same old mistake. So it's kind of funny. I kind of associate this song with like Michael Thorne because he used it in like a bunch of his background
Oh
music
yeah.
videos. You know, with the do 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 do.
Hold up.
But I think with a title like New Person Same Old Mistakes, I feel like it's very relatable for a lot of people because it's always like, oh, those past trials and tribulations. It's like it was very hard, but it's like I got over it and now I'm a new person. But sometimes the hardest advice to follow is your own,
Mhm.
even if you know how true it is. Like, like all these things, like don't get attacked too quickly. Don't say this. Don't do that. Don't like act this way. Like all these things that it's like went wrong the last time, and it's like you paid the price for it. It kind of will happen again. Like, and it is in your control because it is your fault. I mean, obviously it's not always your fault because there's always like the other person, a bunch of other things. But
Mhm.
when looking like in this sort of scenario, like it kind of is. And then also I want to say that I really love the bridge, like um ignoring the vocals kind of. Um the lyrics with the like you've got your demons and she's got her regrets. I feel like it's like really powerful. It kind of spoke to
Yeah.
me a bit.
And I guess Albert, you want to talk about Yes I'm Changing? I know you like Yes I'm Changing
I
a lot.
think it's so, and I love how it's so amazingly empowering, but also just like sad at the same time. It's like whereas like it's called the way like the distance in like it's very this album I feel like is also very cinematic. It's the distance in the way he sings. It's calling yours to him, like the sound sounds like he's like it's like this ocean, and it's just like I don't know, man. It goes crazy though, and it's
Yeah.
like people can't change, but
But that's
that's
bullshit. That's one of my favorite lyrics on. Yeah, I love, and then the way at the end of the song when it kind of like goes into like the chimes. I'm not, and like you can hear the background voices of like life going on. It's really
yeah.
amazing.
And I also then I think this into eventually I think is also a good connection. Just like
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's really I love like the line like in eventually like the if I was never in your life, you wouldn't have to change it. I think, and also I wish I could turn you back into a stranger. It's all just so good. And I'm not the biggest fan of the chorus on this song. I still think it's a good chorus,
hmm
but I think every part of the verse is so much better than the chorus, and that's what kind of pushed this song up for it. But yeah,
yeah. Well, we don't have too much time left. I guess I'll talk about Names and Disciples. I don't know if you guys want to talk about any other songs, but
not
Nangs and
That's fine.
Disciples. So I really enjoy Nangs. It's a great like. Some people say it's an interlude. I think it's more of a. I think I put it as more of a song, but it transitioning into the moment, it's just so like in the background when
Really
there's
underrated song.
yeah. And then Disciples, which is a really short song, but it's really fun to listen to in my opinion. Like it's it's like it's really groovy and it's really like yeah.
yeah, most definitely. I'm
It
never
kind of
been.
sounds like
I Yeah.
it kind of sounds like a song that would play like in like an 80s mall kind of like
Yeah.
montage scene.
Yeah. Well, we don't really have that much time left. We'll talk about this more in future podcasts if it's ever brought up. But if you have any suggestions for topics to talk about at different times for unrelated podcasts that are not the final monthly recaps, then please leave them in the comments. And also, yeah, any questions you want us to discuss, please leave them in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Subscribe and like for more podcasts and reviews. And
Bye.
yeah, we'll be making
Bye,
more
chat.
content. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.